Hey, what's up again? Fosh Anime bringing you a series review for a series that just wrapped up called Kiniro Mosaic, which is a 12-episode series about a school comedy slice of life series. It's by Studio Gokumi, I think it's called, and they did Crime Edge last season. Now they're not really known for doing a bunch of shows. I mean, I will consider them kind of new in this world of anime, but they're not bad. And let's see. The story basically follows. We have like a little girl from Great Britain or England, who I guess they should reveal that a Japanese girl comes and visits her for about I don't know how many, maybe a year or two, for a homestay, which basically is what it is. It sounds like you basically visit a family for a year or a couple months, and you kind of interact with them and learn the culture in the area. And yeah, they revealed that these two girls met, and they're kind of the British girl scared of the Japanese girl for a while, and eventually they become friends through hanging out and learning each other's language. And they jump to I don't know how many years later, but the blonde girl actually comes to Japan to visit the girl, and her name's Shinobu. And her name's Alice. So they kind of go to school together for, I guess they're in high school. They go to, I don't know how long they've been together, but. So basically Alice is staying with Shinobu's family as her homestay, I guess, since they did a reverse. So now we have Alice staying with her, which is kind of a cool story, kind of an interesting setup. I mean, you wouldn't think much of it, but it is more of a comedy. They do, after episode 1, I think that episode 1's more of a feel-good episode. It just, you see these two people that aren't used to each other kind of come together and become friends, stepping over language barriers and everything. And it's kind of a nice little touch like that first episode. Really good. A little emotional because you get attached to these people real fast. They make the characters just really nice and not annoying in any way. And while we have the story, we introduce other characters that kind of interact with the two main characters. We have Yoko. She's got red hair. She's more of like a feisty tomboy and kind of the way she acts and everything. Then you have Aya, who she's got like blue twin tail hair, and she basically loves Yoko. They kind of hint towards that the entire series, that she likes her, and more than just friends. But they don't really go into hardcore Yuri and any scenes like that, because in the end it's just comedy, slice of life school stuff, and yeah. And then we have the last girl, Karen, who is also a girl from I guess England. She's a friend of Alice, and she is one of my favorite characters because she will just speak out random English words while she's speaking Japanese, and I just think to me that always catches my ear when I'm listening or watching this. And she's a very hyperactive character. She's bouncing around always, and she's got the most active imagination, and she's just a likable character all around. She doesn't really come off as annoying when you first meet her. I mean, she just kind of blends in well with the other character. And yeah, so we have Alice, again, like I said, for her personality, she's kind of shy around certain people, and she loves Shinobu, and will probably do anything to get with Shinobu, or be with her. There's even a scene like episode, I think, 10 or 11, where they go to the next year of school, and they realize we're being split up, we're not in the same class anymore, and Alice kind of freaks out. She's stuck with Yoko. Not that she doesn't like the other girls, she's so used to being around Shinobu that it's hard for her to get away from that, since she wants to be with her all the time, like I said. And watching everyone together, I think, is the best moments of the series. Even though it's a school place, they don't really do any schoolwork much, but they do study for like the English test and like that. But when you have all 4 or 5 of these characters together, it's just a goofy time watching them interact and just play off each other. Especially Yoko and Aya, who Aya's kind of, like I said, loves Yoko, but she won't say anything to her. So I think it's funny watching these two just like struggle with each other's feelings, even though Yoko's oblivious to all of it. She doesn't understand what's going on. Basically, she's dense. So yeah. And there's not really anything outstanding to mention about the series. I will say some negatives would be like the repeatable jokes. They kind of do repeat the whole Shinobu likes blonde girls, so they kind of drill that to the ground really fast. While that is funny, like I said, it does get old after a while, and you're like, okay, you've made this joke a couple times now, you can move on from that. And another thing to mention not the best animation around. I mean, if you go to like a school comedy, you want something like maybe Watamote, which has some okay animation. It's, you know, decent. So, and I think the only thing that I would mention is for the positives is the English. Like I said, they have. I think episode 1 is full of English. You have Alice just saying everything in English. It's kind of funny watching that, and her trying to speak Japanese. So they did a good job in the voice acting for those parts. Even though I know some people would think, oh, English and Japanese is kind of never comes off as good or professional at all. Yeah, I guess I would agree to that. And the other positives would be the cool music and a nice OST, and great characters. Like, I think all the characters are interesting, even though I think Karen is probably the most interesting character of all of them. And the last thing I'll mention, episode 12, was kind of interesting. They had, like, half it was just them goofing around, and the other half was kind of a weird musical mashup of like pirates and princesses and fairy tale themes. It was kind of weird seeing a musical like that. Like, you don't see very many anime going the musical route like this, where it just they bust out in song and it's like a story behind it. Unlike Valve Rave, that did it kind of randomly, or a Love Lab, or there's a few other shows that have done this in the past. But yeah, overall for the final review, I'll give this a 7 out of 10. Like I said, it's not the best series out there, but it did make me laugh and have some nice heartfelt moments on some of the characters. And season 2, I could actually see it happening easily. I mean, there is a chance for them to do some real drama in this series with Shinobu and Alice finally having to go back to their respective countries and just having to stay away from each other for a while or separate. But I don't see that being too dramatic. I mean, they could spin it off as, well, Alice goes to college and she runs into Shinobu and they go to college together and they move into each other like that. But yeah, Kiniro Mosaic, 7 out of 10. Interesting stuff. See ya.